What's up everybody, my name is Zach, welcome to TechGear. I have not made any videos lately, I've been very busy. I have sold my house finally, for those of y'all following the channel. House has been on the market for a little while, finally just sold it. I'm staying full time in an RV right now. So far it's been pretty good. I'm kind of anxious to see how cold weather kind of works itself out, but I'm alive, I'm doing well. But as of right now, to get back into making videos, one of my favorite things is to try new stuff. So coming from an Xbox user, I picked up a PS5. Wasn't really looking for one that hard, but one was available nearby, and I kind of want to try it out. I love to play video games. I play with my buddies every night almost, and I kind of want to just, try something different. So we're going to take this thing out of the box and see how it kind of compares to the Xbox. I've been an Xbox user for forever, it seems like, so this should be a pretty neat experience. There's one title that I miss in particular from the PlayStation series, and that is Ratchet and Clank. I don't know why I enjoyed those games, but looking to maybe pick that up for this and try it out if I like the console. I've heard these consoles are freaking huge, so we're gonna find out. Take the sleeve off. By the way, this come with a free, or not free, but it came with a game, a digital download of God of War Ragnarok. It's supposed to be a really good series, so that is going to be the first exclusive that I'm going to try on the PlayStation. It's kind of a plain box here. It does have the PlayStation logo on it. Other than that, nothing special. Looks like you got your user manuals and paperwork right there. Ooh, controller right here in the front. Okay, that actually feels kind of good. I have not played a PlayStation since the PS3, if I'm not mistaken, and this thing actually feels pretty good in the hand. I had to get used to the sticks being in the center, symmetric. I'm used to the offset ones on the Xbox, but this thing does actually feel really good. And I done turned the LEDs on by pressing buttons. Cool. So there's the controller. Looks like we got a charging cable, USB-C to USB-A, probably for charging the controller. Power cable for the console. Over here is probably the included base and HDMI cord. So here is the HDMI 2.1 cord. I'm gonna need that. It's cool that it comes with it too. Most things you gotta buy the cable separately. So this is the stand included with the console, which allows you to put it in vertical mode or horizontal mode. It kind of just gives it some support. That must be the digital download code on a sheet of paper. Wow. Comes with free milk cartons. And here we have the console. I feel like that was a pretty unique packaging for this thing, being bound up in all that plastic, and the milk cartons. It's just not typically what I see out of stuff like this with this price range. So this is the disc console version. Looks like they have hard buttons here on the front now instead of touchpad. I really like that. And an integrated USB-C for charging the controller directly. That is awesome. I hope everything moving forward has a USB-C integrated, because it is faster. So just the PlayStation logo on the side panel. 2 USB ports, 1 USB-C, 1 USB 3. Power, disc eject down here on the bottom. On the top there's nothing. On the back we get 2 USB 3 ports, a direct LAN port, HDMI, and your power input. And on the bottom, I don't know what that is, probably nothing. Could be I believe that's where the mount goes actually. I think that's where the table mount screws into it. Okay, so I got the console, everything out of the box, and got the stand put on it. It's actually really easy, no tools required. The little plastic plate has a built-in screw that you kind of just detach and pull that little black spacer that I didn't know what it was off the bottom of the machine and just screw it on. So I put the stand on the bottom to put it in vertical mode, because where I'm going to put it is very tight. I need it to stand up rather than lay down. I got all that put together, and I kind of want to talk about my first impressions of it. First of all, the controller. I think it really feels comfortable. I remember one of the issues I had with the PS3 way back in the day whenever I had one, and I only tried it out, I didn't even own it long, I ended up selling it, is I didn't like the controller. It felt too small. I'm used to the Xbox controllers that are bigger and have the offset thumbsticks. The PS5 controller has kind of longer grips for your fingers to wrap around, and especially around this back corner right here. It's kind of like a rounded off feeling and it kind of gives your hand somewhere to grip onto like this, and it's very comfortable. I think I'm actually going to really like this. I'm excited to download Warzone on here because it's free and try it out with this controller. I've been a Warzone player for a while on the Xbox, so it should be pretty easy to pick up on this controller. I just kind of want to see how it feels. You know, I'm used to having paddles on Xbox controller. This does not have that, but I just kind of want to see how it feels while playing a game that I know very well. Now for the console. Now the unboxing experience, I really didn't feel like it was that much to talk about. I mean, one box had all the accessories in it, which that's cool, but as far as the console itself, it was in that milk cartons type stuff with some plastic around it, but that's it. There was no kind of other padding or anything. I have seen things packaged better than this is, but that's fine. The console, I really like the matte white finish. It shouldn't show any kind of scratches or anything, but I do have kind of a little problem with the black that they chose on the center. The shiny black like that, it looks excellent right now because it's brand new, but once it sits for 2 days, it's going to be nasty for the rest of its life. And I wish they could have went with a matte black, sort of like is on the Xbox. I don't think you would ever have any problems of it showing age or scratches just because of the type of material. So I would like to see that changed on the PS5 or whatever they come up with next, but it does look good new. Also, I noticed while I was plugging in the cords, getting it ready to put the machine in the corner over there, I noticed that the power cable is identical to the Xbox ones. I had a power cable blade behind the TV from where I swap my Xbox kind of back and forth to my, my rig over here to the TV if I wanted to. I'll leave a power cord just plugged in back there so I can get to it very easily. And it's identical. I even looked up the power wattage rating and stuff on the wire itself, and they're both the same. So if you do have one of the other systems and you pick up one of the other, you won't have to swap your power cables out all the time. So that's actually kind of a small but cool feature. So I'm gonna put this beside the TV where it's gonna live, I guess, for a couple days. I'll probably do all of my playing on the TV for now until I find some room in this setup to keep the console over here. I doubt it's gonna happen though. But I want to get signed in and see if I can remember my old PlayStation Network information, or even see if I have one. I can't remember if I do or not. So I'm gonna get jumping on that. Alright, so I was able to find out my PSN password and username, and it was dating back to like 2016, I believe, and it was a PS4, so I did try out a PS4 at one time. And I'm pretty sure I didn't like it back then, like I mentioned earlier, is because of the controller. It just felt too small, the grips weren't long enough, and I think they really got it right on this one, because this PS5 controller feels so much better. And it's got some cool features that I kind of just forgot about and I hadn't really looked into this console very much. And now that I've experienced those things, which I'm going to talk about, it is freaking cool. So I got signed in. I downloaded the game with the digital pass they gave me. Tried out. I played about an hour and a half of God of War Ragnarok. And let me tell you, that game looks freaking amazing. I don't know if it's because it's on the 4K TV, which I haven't really gamed on in a while. I know it's a new game, so it's going to be probably really graphically demanding over some of the titles I've been used to, but man, there was so many times I was just barely pressing my analog stick to walk through the map and just look around because it looks insane. I stopped a few times and I walked up to the TV and kind of like tried to look for pixels. I mean, it looks stupid good. It really surprised me, so that is really cool. Now, for the controller. So the PS5 has some features built into the controller which I'm not used to, never had before. One is the haptic feedback, kind of like your Apple Watch or your iPhone if you have them. They have the haptic feedback, like a small vibration with certain gestures and pressing buttons and stuff. You feel a little rumble in it. Pretty cool. And it also has adaptive triggers. So what that does is gives people the technology who build games to integrate different feels and different gestures into the triggers to mimic different things. So you could have your trigger where you shoot a gun. One gun may be a different vibration motor into the trigger than another weapon, so it makes it just feel really immersive while you're playing. And last night when I tried out the God of War game, there was a session where it was doing the haptic trigger and I had no idea what was going on because I'm not used to it. So the trigger got to where almost I couldn't pull it in. I was like, I know this thing isn't stuck. It's a brand new controller. Like, you don't scare me. And I really like it because for the first time in a long time, there's actually been some innovative things going on with the controller itself. Now I know that this does not have any paddle buttons on the back, which I wish it did. I'm so used to my Series X, whatever Elite controller I use over there. It's really useful in FPS games. I've gotten so used to it. So I would like to see that integrated onto this controller, but for now, I think it does feel really good. And also on the front, I don't know, there may be people that may not know this. I know I didn't know it. your menu button over here, so your settings button is top right hand. Top left hand is share. I was thinking that'd be like an options menu, but it's not. The options is actually this whole touchpad in the middle. You click it in like a button, and I had no idea about that. I was looking on the game for, you know, some kind of a settings menu, couldn't find it, and then I realized if you press that whole button in, it acts like a full button, and it's also a trackpad. So cool things I've never had before. I've been an Xbox player for so long. It's cool that something is different, and just kind of like, it's like a next gen controller here. Now as for the machine itself, I actually really like the menu system. It's kind of simple. It reminds me of the PS4 where everything is in a horizontal view, and then on top of that, the little quick menu. So if you press this one time, I believe it brings up a small menu bar at the bottom, which it's like quick actions menu where you can go to like quick resume or whatever PS calls the quick resume. You can get to your friends, your chat, all your settings, the console settings, stuff like that. It's kind of like a quick access menu, and I really like it. And then I realized that if you hit triangle while looking at that, you can arrange them to put them in whatever order you want to. So if you want, you know, power mode or standby mode as the first one, then your friends, then your chat, and then the settings, and, you know, all these things, you could put them in however line you want to, kind of like you could on a computer. That's a cool feature. It seems to be pretty much on par as far as speed than the Xbox Series X that I'm currently, you know, used to. I don't see any kind of load differences or anything. I think they're both like extremely fast machines, so that's nice that the one is not falling behind the other. So coming from an Xbox user, what do I think about the PS5? Well, by playing it a little while, I can tell that I don't believe you're going to be able to go wrong with either one of these consoles. I have a lot of experience with the Xbox. Most of my community, all my friends are on Xbox. It's just a lot easier for me to jump in and get straight to business with that sense of things. But with everything, with technology getting to where it is now, if you play on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, they're all cross-compatible. Cross-platform, I mean, and you can play with each other through the games itself. It is a little difficult sometimes because you can't have Xbox Party Chat, invite a PlayStation member in, and vice versa. But you can all play together through the game chat, which that's nice. But I feel like that if you are a Xbox user and you want to upgrade to one of the two consoles, the PlayStation is great and you would probably love it, but it may be easier for you to stick with the Xbox, you know, ecosystem. Or vice versa, if you have a PlayStation and all your friends play on PlayStation, it may make more sense to stay with the PlayStation. But both of them, I think, are pretty much equally compatible as far as performance and the experience. The PlayStation has a little bit less customization through the actual app and the profiles and stuff that you can do on there as far as coloring and just your general interface of it. Xbox is a little more customizable. Xbox, of course, has the PC feature. Basically, you can play all your Xbox games through the computer. That's really what hooked me from a long time ago. But that's not to say the PlayStation is not fun. But so far this thing has extremely impressed me. The graphics on it look insane. I'm really enjoying it so far. And the controller, I like it a lot. I'd like to play with one with paddles and maybe play through PC or something with my Xbox friends. It may be something I try later in the future, I don't know. But I do like the controller and how it feels with the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you found it useful or liked the video, give me a like or a comment or subscribe if you haven't already, if you would like that. I also have an Instagram page for the channel that I post some stuff periodically. If you'd like to take that and give it a follow, that'd be great. And I'll see you in the next video. See ya.